So we'll go ahead and start. I'd love you to find a comfortable position to sit in. So you can sit on a chair, you can sit on a blanket or a pillow. I'm going to just move myself to my little setup over here. And we'll be starting with a meditation to help us just transition into this time together. And, just know that we're all here practicing together in community. Okay. So we'll start with a meditation. We'll go into some different movements and postures. And at the end, I'll save some time, for questions, comments, things of that nature. So go ahead and get comfortable. I'm sitting cross-legged. You can do the same, or you can sit in a different position. You might sit up against a wall. And just start to lean forward and lean back and forward and back. And see if you can find your center. So that place at which you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning back, you're right in the center. You're feeling the bones stack to support you effortlessly. I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable, or you can gaze downward towards the ground. Rest your hands on your lap. Your palms can be face down or face up, whatever feels right for you. And begin to land here. So whatever's happened so far today, whatever you absorb, just notice that. How is that feeling here? And imagine just placing that off to the side or out of the room for now, so that you can be right here with yourself. And start to notice the sounds around you. Notice the sounds in your space. And these are anchors to the here and now, helping you to be present. Notice any sounds outside of your space. And you're welcome to stay with your focus on sound as a way to ground you to the here and now. Or you can start to notice your physical body here, sitting and breathing. Rooting yourself through your feet, your legs, lengthening up through the spine as you lift your heart. Soften your shoulders, your arms. Soften the jaw and the face. And notice your body as a whole here. And if you notice any unnecessary tension, areas where you might be gripping or holding, see if you can offer a bit of softening in those parts, a little release. Or at least planting a seed for softening there. And notice your breath. Where do you feel your breath in your body? Perhaps your chest or your belly. And just notice the gentle lift as you breathe in and the softening as you breathe out. If you'd rather not focus on your breath or your body, stay with the sounds in your space. And if it feels okay to focus on the breath, allow your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. So breathing in and a long breath out. Breathing in and a long breath out. And staying with this, as we lengthen the exhalation, it helps to give this body a signal that you're safe, that you're okay. It can help to reduce stress and tension. So nice long breaths out. And bring your awareness to your neck and your throat. You can surround this area with a golden light. And imagining the seat of the thyroid, even if that organ is not physically present energetically, we can still connect to that organ in that space. So just imagine a golden sphere of light here, a light of warmth, of kindness. And just notice what that's like to do, to imagine. To just greet that part of the body with some warmth and support. And whatever you feel there, whatever reaction is there is absolutely fine. Just breathe with that and stay with that golden light for about 3 more rounds of breath. And gradually releasing any control of the breath. You can release that imagery. You can return to that throughout our time if that feels supportive. But begin to rock your head from side to side. You can keep your eyes closed or open and rocking side to side. If it's comfortable, you can circle the head and neck and making choices which serve you. So if this feels uncomfortable or there's pain, then move in a way that feels okay. That's the whole practice of compassion here. And if you're circling the head, circle the other direction. We can hold a lot of tension in our jaw, our neck, and our shoulders. So we're just exploring some gentle movement to create warmth, potentially release tension, and cultivate ease. Good. And bring your head to neutral and start to move your shoulders up and behind you. So just circling your shoulders up and back. And noticing sensation here. So this is a practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is when we pay attention on purpose without judgment. So just notice here the sensation in the shoulders. You don't need to label it as good or bad. Just observe and witness. Circle the other direction. Noticing the sensation. Good. Bring your shoulders to neutral and inhale. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears, creating a little tension on purpose. And exhale, release. Good. Shake that out. And again, inhale, lift the shoulders up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Good. Notice the difference between tension and ease. And one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Good. Shake it out. And clasp your hands. Start to circle your wrists. We can hold a lot of tension here from being on phones, computers, driving. So just circle the wrists. A little warmth, a little ease. And circle the other direction. Good. Shake it out. Bring your right hand down towards the ground. Inhale your left arm up and over. If you're sitting in a chair, you can have one hand on the lap and reach up and over. Good. Inhale up through center and exhale over the other way. Good. And moving side to side, inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. And so move with your own breath. And we need that awareness, the mindfulness to practice compassion, right? We need to be tuned in to what you're experiencing to then make choices which support you. So right here, moving in ways that feel supportive, listening to the messages of the body. The next time you have your right hand down, pause. Notice any stretch along the side of the body right there. And feel free to circle the arm a few times one direction, a few times the other way. So we're giving a little warmth and love to the shoulder there. Good. Reach long. Inhale up through center and over the other way. Again, pause, notice. And start to circle if that feels right for you. Remember, you always have the option to sit and breathe. You're still right here with us in community. Circle the other direction. Noticing that shoulder. Extend long. And inhale on up. Good. Shake out the arms. Rest your hands on your lap. If you have your legs crossed, like myself, you can bring the other leg in front. And as you breathe in, start to arch your low back and lift your heart, drop your shoulders. As you exhale, round your spine and tuck your chin towards your chest. Good. Moving with your breath, inhale to arch your low back, lift the heart. Exhale to round the spine and release the head. Connecting with this wave-like motion in the spine. And so you have the option to stay with this. If you're sitting in a chair, for example, stay with this movement. Otherwise, you can come to what's called table. So coming to hands and knees. I do recommend having a blanket if you have one or something nearby, just to have a little cushion under your knees. And squaring up, so your wrists are right under your shoulders, your knees are right under your hips. If you have any wrist sensitivity, you can always come to fists here. And we'll explore that same movement. So as you inhale, arch your low back and lift your heart, press your hands into the ground. Exhale, tuck your tailbone around the spine and release your head and neck. Good. Moving with your breath. So again, you can find this movement from seated or from table. Feel free to close your eyes if that's comfortable. That can help us to be a little more aware of the sensations within. And whatever sensations you notice, rather than judging or writing a story about them, just observe and witness. For example, I'm noticing a little tightness in my low back. So rather than judging that, I can just be aware and move in ways that are supportive. So about 3 more breaths. Moving and breathing right here, right now. And gradually making your way to a neutral spine. And if you're in table, you can tuck your toes and just step your feet forward. So you're coming into a forward fold. And taking a few breaths here, you can sway side to side by bending one knee at a time. You might roll your wrists. Feel free to shake your head yes, shake your head no. And notice if there's any judgments or criticisms of yourself here. Just let that move through and come back to some kindness. Give yourself some credit here. Acknowledge you're taking care of yourself and your body. And gradually, slightly bend the knees. Inhale all the way up to standing, nice and slow. Let your head be the last thing to lift. And feel the soles of your feet on the earth. Notice the legs. Gently lift your heart and roll your shoulders back. Your chin is parallel to the ground. And take a few breaths here in this standing shape. This is called mountain pose. So we're connecting to the stability of the mountain here. And exhale, you can start to shake it out a little bit. Good. And if you had a blanket underneath your knees, you can move that to the side. And widen your feet a bit and start to twist side to side, letting your arms dangle. This is called empty coat sleeves. So just imagining that you have a oversized coat on and you're just letting the arms dangle side to side. Good. And this movement can help to release tension in the low back, can help to open the heart a bit. And gently slow the motion back down. Good. And shake it out. Bring your feet right underneath your hips, so they're hip width apart. We'll move into a breathing practice called Breath of Joy. It's an energizing breathing practice, and it is made up of 3 breaths in and a long breath out. So it looks like this. Breathe in, bring your arms in front. Breathe in, arms to the side. Breathe in, arms to the front. And on the exhale, fold forward. You can either fold all the way or bring your hands to your thighs and fold that way. So when you breathe in, it's 3 sips of the same in-breath. It's not 3 separate breaths, okay? You breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. It looks like this. Inhale, 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 exhale. Okay, so feel free to join me when you're ready. And feel free to really let that exhale be audible. You can move faster or slower than me. Good. 3 more rounds. Last round. Come on up to stand and just notice. You might close your eyes or you might just drop your gaze downward. Just notice within. You might feel warmth. You might feel tingling. Just notice. Sometimes there's a sense of aliveness or maybe even joy from this breath of joy practice. Shake it out. And just come to the front of your space. If you have a mat, you can come to the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your waist and step your left foot way back. You can have your right knee over your ankle, your hips facing forward. Your back heel can be on the earth or lifted up. And you can inhale, lift your arms up. And so if you're sitting in a chair, you can have your arms up. Okay, you could lift your knee up if you'd like from a chair position. Good, so lifting up here. And just notice what it's like to be in this shape. This is called warrior, warrior 1. And so notice this is a strengthening posture, a confidence building posture. We're really connecting to the strength of the legs, the core, the arms. We're all warriors here, right? So just notice how this feels. This might feel empowering. This might feel vulnerable. Just notice your experience. Good. And if you'd like a little bit of movement here on your inhale, lift up. On your exhale, you can bring your arms towards the ground as you fold forward. Good. And this movement, similar to that movement we were doing from table when we were rounding the spine and flattening the spine, it helps to bring circulation and energy to the throat, to the seat of the thyroid. So we're giving a little love and support there. Good. Coming back up to stand. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your waist and switch sides. So bring your left foot forward, right foot back. So your left knee is over your ankle. Your hips are squared forward. Your back heel can be on the earth or lifted, whatever feels comfortable for you. And lift the arms up. Good. Notice what it's like to be in this shape, to be aware of the body, to be awake and alive right here, right now. And feel free to move with your breath. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to come back up. Good. And so make those compassionate choices. If the movement doesn't feel good or right, then you can leave it. If there's a different way you'd like to move and breathe here, I encourage you to follow that. Trust yourself. Good. Coming on up. Pause, breathe. And exhale, bring your hands to your waist. Step the feet together and just shake it out. Good. Bring your heels right under your hips. Bring your arms out to the side. Focus your gaze ahead of you and up a couple of feet. And really open your heart. Good. This is another nice heart opener. Little love and energy to the throat. Stay here or start to bring your weight into your toes. Lift your heels off the earth. So we're balancing here. Good. So feel free to stay here. This is called Rooster Pose. We're really opening the heart, opening the lungs, the chest. Good. A nice counter to any hunching over we might do during the day, whether that's conscious or not. And exhale, come back, shake it out. And we'll move into one more balanced posture. So bring your hands to your waist and bring your weight into your right leg and foot. Settle your gaze on a point ahead of you that's not moving. And bring your left foot to your ankle. So you can stay right here. Or you have the choice to bring your foot up to your shin and calf area, or up to your thigh. Feel free to come to a wall, give yourself support. You can bring your hands together in front of your heart or lift the hands up. This is called tree pose. So we're connecting to the energy of the earth, to the tree, how the tree is strong in its trunk, it's really stable. And it also has these branches that bend rather than break. So embodying the tree here. And if you come out, come right back in. Sometimes we get really serious in balancing postures. Good. And gradually you can come on out nice and slow. Shake out the arms and the legs. And then move to the other side. So the weight comes to the left foot and leg and the right foot to the ankle. You can bring the foot up to the calf or up to the thigh, and each side is different. So inviting that kindness, that compassion here, and giving yourself a few kind phrases. Perhaps I'm doing the best I know how. I am enough right here, right now. I am enough right here, right now. Good. When you're ready, coming out nice and slow. Shake it out. Good. And so we've done some standing, some balancing postures just to get our energy flowing, help us be a little more alert, awake. And so now we'll slow it down a little bit more, cultivating some rest. So go ahead and lift your hands up. Exhale, fold forward. And gradually you can come down onto your knees into table. And you can stay here if you want to explore a few more of those movements with the spine. Again, this movement helps to bring energy and circulation to the neck and the throat. So we're connecting to that part of our body in a kind, safe way. If you'd rather, you can bring your knees wide and your big toes towards one another and sink back into what's called child's pose. Bring your hips towards your heels. And you can rest your head on the ground or on a blanket if that's uncomfortable, or you prefer not to be in that shape. You can come to a comfortable seat or lie on your back. Okay, so just shifting into a shape that feels comfortable, where you can rest for a few rounds of breath. So again, either child's pose, sitting, or lying on your back. Closing your eyes if you'd like. And coming back to your breath here. If it feels supportive, breathing in and a long breath out. And if your mind starts to wander away, then rest your awareness on one point of focus here. So it might be your breath, it might be a sound, or it could be that affirmation, I am enough. So focusing on something here that helps you remain present as best you can. Our mind will naturally wander. We can't control that, but we do have that option to bring the attention back to a point of focus on purpose. So take a few more breaths here, wherever you are. Noticing what it's like to slow down. And if you'd like to stay here longer, please do. Please listen to yourself. If this feels complete, if you're in child's pose, bring your hands under your shoulders and press yourself up to table. You might wag your hips from side to side. And make your way to a comfortable seat. And I recommend sitting on a blanket or a pillow, whatever you have on hand. Just go ahead and sit yourself on top. You can extend your legs and just pedal your knees. And start to circle your ankles. So we can have tension that resides in the ankles. So just a little gentle movement can help create a bit of ease there. And circle the other direction. And draw your right foot in towards yourself. You can keep your foot right where it is or cross it over your left leg. Go ahead and inhale, lift up. Bring your right arm up. And on your exhale, bring your right hand behind you. So you're coming into a twist. And if you're sitting in a chair, you can simply twist to your right. Good. So twisting, we want to ground down through the base of the spine, lift up as you lengthen the spine. And you might even start to look behind you. Do what's comfortable for your neck, of course, making choices which serve you here. And breathing. Notice where you feel sensation in the physical body. Twists are another shape that bring energy and circulation to the neck, the thyroid area. So again, even if the thyroid isn't physically there, it's not there for me, we're just giving a little kindness energetically to that area, cultivating some compassion for the physical body. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. And on your exhale, unwind. Bring your right foot in towards yourself. You might need to reposition yourself on your blanket. Bring your right foot towards yourself. If you're sitting in a chair, you can bring your right ankle to the left thigh if that feels comfortable. And you can stay upright here. Begin to press through your left heel. You might feel a little sensation at the back of the left leg. Stay here, or you can inhale, lift your arms up, and exhale, hinge forward. So your hands land wherever they land. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. So feel free to just let your head and neck release. You don't have to hold your head up or look around. Close your eyes if you'd like. And if it feels supportive, come back to that practice of lengthening the exhale, letting your exhale be a little longer than your inhale. As we do that, sometimes the body releases a little bit more, and sometimes we move into a stretch more deeply without even trying. Sometimes the body just opens as we lengthen the exhale. We're not trying to force that or make anything happen. We're simply being and breathing, witnessing how this shape is unfolding within yourself. Taking about 2 more breaths here in this forward fold or whatever shape you found yourself. And gradually, you can bring yourself up if you were folded forward. Good, and extend the leg and just take a pause here and notice. Notice your right and left leg and hip, and just notice any difference. We're not comparing or judging. We're simply noticing from the twist and the fold forward how that's resonating within. And when you're ready, bring your left foot towards yourself. You can stay here or cross the foot over. Inhale, lift up, lengthen through the spine, lift your left arm up, and exhale, place it behind you as you come into a twist. You're just hugging that left thigh. And again, if you're sitting in a chair, you can just bring your arms up and twist to the left. And make sure that hand behind you is relatively close to you. It's not so far back that you're leaning back into it. It's a little kickstand behind you. And breathe. Taking 3 more breaths in this twist. Taking care of yourself. And when you're ready, you can exhale, come back to center and take that left foot, bring it in towards yourself. You might need to reposition yourself on the blanket or whatever's beneath you. Press through the right heel. Stay right here. You might feel a little opening in your left hip. You have the option to inhale, lift the hands up, and exhale, fold forward. And let yourself settle in. This will be a different experience. The sides of our body are different, so let this experience unfold here. Noticing the sensations within. And if it's supportive, let your exhale be a little longer than your inhale. And whenever you're ready, you can inhale slowly, come on up. Extend your left leg and just notice both legs together. Notice both hips together. Good. And just bring your hands behind you, bring your feet to the floor and rock your knees from side to side. Just a little relief here for the hips. Good. And go ahead and make your way onto your back if that's comfortable. And you can have a blanket or a pillow, something on hand within hand's reach. And just bring yourself onto your back. If you're sitting in a chair, you can stay right where you are. But on your back, you can bring your hands to your knees and just rock side to side. Little massage for your lower back. We can hold a lot of tension and stress here. Just a little movement can help encourage ease here. As you're ready, bring your feet to the floor. Sense your heels under your knees. Bring your arms alongside your torso with the palms face down. And press down through your feet to gently lift your hips up. And feel free to slide a prop underneath your low back and settle back down. Good. So you have something underneath your lower back, or you can stay lifted if you'd rather not settle onto a prop. The option with a prop is what's called Restorative Bridge. This is another nice posture for the throat and the neck. We're opening the heart here, and we're also staying grounded with the feet on the floor. So we'll stay here for a few breaths. You can let your palms face up towards the ceiling, or if you'd like, you can bring a hand to the belly, a hand to the heart. Feel free to close your eyes. Giving yourself some credit for making this time for yourself, for taking time in your day right here for you. To slow down and to be with. So staying here for about 5 more rounds of breath. Slow breaths, if that's comfortable. There's nothing to do, nowhere to be. Simply right here, right now with yourself, breathing and being. And you're welcome to stay here in this shape. Again, if this feels supportive for you or nourishing, I really encourage you to stay as long as you need. And once this feels complete, you can press your feet down to lift your hips up and remove the prop. Lower your spine onto the earth. Let your lower back rest heavy on the earth. And simply extend your legs long. We'll move into our final posture called Shavasana. You can rest here on your back with your palms face up. If you have a blanket nearby and you'd rather roll that up under your knees, that can be helpful for the low back. So all you would do is roll up a blanket, or if you have a pillow, and just bring that under your knees for support. And so in Shavasana, this is our final place of rest. All of the fruits of our yoga practice get integrated here. So there's nothing you have to do in this final posture. It's simply a place of being and breathing. And by naturally resting here, all of the fruits of the practice are integrated and absorbed. So if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes. You can allow your breath to flow naturally. And I will just offer a few moments of silence and simply allow yourself to soften. Begin to deepen your breath here, breathing all the way in, all the way out. And just notice yourself resting here in this space and resting in community. And sending gratitude to yourself for taking this time to slow down and check in. And perhaps just energetically sending gratitude to those who've practiced alongside you today. And as you're ready, invite gentle movement. You can wiggle your fingers, your toes. You can rock your head from side to side. If you're lying down, you can draw your knees in towards yourself, gently roll to one side. And gradually press yourself up to a seat. And as you're sitting comfortably, close the eyes once more or gaze towards the ground and just check in. Just notice if anything has shifted. If there's anything you'd like to take with you from this practice. Just notice. You don't have to think anything up. Just notice if anything surfaces there. Good. And just press your palms together in front of the heart. This is a gesture of gratitude. And just give a little bow, a bow to yourself, to your own light within. And we just bow together in community and for the benefit of all beings everywhere. Good. So, of course, thank you for exploring this yoga practice. I'm going to move myself up to the screen so that I can answer questions. And so I just encourage you, if you'd like to put in the chat or if anyone wants to share what you are taking with you from that, feel free. So sleepy. Yeah. It can happen.
Alison, thank you for just such a warm and wonderful way to end our day.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're so welcome. My pleasure, really. Yeah, to just give space to slow down.
And I don't see a lot of questions in the chat, but I do see lots of accolades and thank yous that are showing up in our chat.
Yes. Yes. So
Swati says she's say sleepy now. Cheryl says, thanks, that was excellent. Swifty says, my poor old back needs a cane now. Just breathe.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Thank you for this beautiful way to conclude the day, Stephanie says. And there is a question regarding using yoga as a workout method. Just drop your question right in the, if you have a specific question about that, drop it right into the chat. Beverly says, terrific way to deal with sitting in front of the computer all day. Absolutely. Haven't done yoga for a long time. Hopefully this will get you inspired. Arlene, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. If there are any questions out there, this is the perfect time to drop them in the chat.
Yes, happy to answer any.
Is it okay if I speak in here?
Sure.
I have a question for you, Alison.
Sure.
How long have you done yoga for?
So I started practicing when I was a teenager. Luckily, I was exposed to it through my mom. And then I did my formal teacher training in 2013. So I've been teaching for since then, since 2013. Yeah. And so I had been practicing yoga before my own cancer diagnosis, but then my own practice really changed a lot after. I beforehand really had like a athletic kind of pushing myself practice, and now my practice is much more restorative and slowing down and being really, you know, kind and gentle with myself. So my own practice personally has shifted since my own experience of thyroid cancer.
Good to hear. There is a question. The question was geared toward, would you use yoga for weight loss, or how would you use yoga?
Yeah, I mean, people use yoga for all different, you know, if different areas. It is a practice. Yoga itself has 8 limbs. So the physical practice of yoga is only one part of yoga practice. And it is a practice that as we do this routinely, we naturally can often build strength. There are folks who teach yoga for weight loss. Personally, I haven't taught that, but there are resources out there for that. There's also yoga for, you know, stress management, for anxiety, for all sorts of areas we want to address in our life. But yes, I have heard of folks using it for weight loss in particular. And there's also lots of benefits for the mind and the emotions, as well as the physical too.
Beautiful. Alison, do you practice your yoga every day, or do you take a day off?
Yeah, I practice most every day. I have a morning routine where I practice and then I meditate afterwards. But I'm human, right? And some days I might feel sick or whatever. But I try to really have some part of my day, even if it's 5 to 10 minutes, where I'm just with myself doing a little gentle stretching and just releasing any of that tension that can build up. But I do find for myself and those that I work with that if we can, do it somewhat consistently, then it just reinforces itself. And for me, it's such a habit now. I kind of feel a little odd if I don't have some yoga in the day. Yeah.
Right. And do you usually use music or have music with it, or you switch it up?
Yeah, I like to switch it up. Some days I'm just needing silence and to be with myself and my breath. And other days I feel like having some music really helps tap into, the practice or my mood or just how I'm feeling. So yeah, and I had put in the chat a Spotify playlist. So if you have Spotify and you click on that, it'll come up with my other public playlists that are just, different kind of yoga music and whatnot. And those are public. So anyone can listen to those if you want to check that out.
Yes, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I have one more question for you. What made you want to do yoga?
That's such a good question. I don't know that it was so intentional. I danced a lot growing up, and so I started to do yoga as a way of just stretching, and I didn't quite understand why people loved it so much. I just thought it was stretching. So I got into it for that, but then really started to experience the mental and emotional benefits of it for reducing anxiety, reducing stress. And that's really what kept me going, was just, the calm that I would feel at the end of a practice. So I didn't have like too much of an intention, but once I started to really feel the benefits, that has really kept it going.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Alison, for being with us. And we all, I'm sure I speak for everyone here, we thoroughly enjoyed your instruction and the calmness of your vocals with us as you were taking us through the process. So thank you so very much for that. And with that, I think we are right where we need to be. Again, everybody, we can't see you, but just wave hands for Alison. Lots and lots of hands out there for you, Alison. Thanks so much. You can turn your cameras on. Turn your cameras on and wave to Alison. Give her the big heart. That's so lovely. Everybody fill up the screen with the hearts there for Alison.
Such a pleasure to practice with you all. Yeah.
So thank you so much. And everyone be safe. We expect to see you all back tomorrow.
Yay.
Good night.
Good night.